Good afternoon, everybody. That was a very formal introduction. Hello. Hope you are great for a Thursday. I am really excited to be joined by Brett from Glitter Fox Studios, who has a music school local to me in northwest Melbourne. And hey, Brett, how you going?
I'm pretty good, Natalie, for a Thursday.
Yeah,
and how about yourself?
Yeah, really good. I'm actually buzzing and quite excited about Find Your Passion Day tomorrow. So
Yeah,
it's really good.
Yeah, I've been enjoying the process of watching everyone sort of all the posts and things you've been putting up and leading by example, which is really cool. I'm like, hey, I should do that too. So yeah, it's been cool to watch you do that. And so it's something that when we first met, I was like, this is really cool, and it was something that I wanted to be involved in. So
Yeah.
yes, it's very aligned with what I do. Helping people with generally in the field of music with their health and fitness, and well, not just their health and fitness, but with music and their personal development and helping them break through challenges and things like that too. So, and be their own superhero is my thing. So it sort of lines right up with Find Your Passion Day. Yeah. So
yeah.
cool.
Yeah, totally. And I know when we first met too and have spoken that, I felt really aligned in terms of the work that we do and the passion that we both have for other people. So I'm thrilled to have a chance to chat to you again. So the reason that we are coming to you today is I put up a bit of an impromptu Facebook Live video probably a couple of weeks ago now around values and just talking about how I find knowing your values really important, how it dictates our behaviour, but also how we want to be perceived and treated by other people as well. And Brett reached out because this is something that he's quite passionate about too. And we were keen to have a bit of a conversation about it and share some of Brett's insights around values. So I'll throw over to you, Brett, and we can have a chat about it.
Yeah, in my own research with values has been a fascinating process of starting to understand my own psychology and why I do things and why I get frustrated and why I can't stay focused on things. And once I actually figured out what my list was, and I can now see that it actually changes throughout different times of year and different phases that I've gone through over the last sort of 7-8 years, I can actually help sort of keep my emotions in check, if that makes sense. And I can just sort of understand my own way of going about things in the world. So at the moment, I'm doing a clean and lean challenge with my health and fitness, and I'm a bit distracted from other things that I should be doing. And I'm like, I'm sort of, I was doing a bit of beating myself up. I was like, I should be doing this, I should be doing this, and should be doing this. And when I sort of hear that language, should, have to, got to, I'm like, I know I'm out of sync with my value list. So I actually just stopped for a minute and said, okay, what's actually important to me right now? So I realized that, my health and fitness is at the top of my list. And when I responded to your question before about what I actually do, I'd said health and fitness. I was like, that's not what I do, but it's really important to me now. So it's like, it's always top of mind. So once I sort of started to understand that, I'm like, well, this is a really important part of life, of understanding who you are as a person in the world. And so basically I started implementing that with all my clients and my students who I work with. We all have, everyone has even my staff have an interest questionnaire. So I have these series of 8 questions, which I can share with you if you want. I can quickly run through them now if we have time, just to basically help us identify what this list of things are. And so in my research as well, it's what I came to realize is it's this list of things, this list of priorities or values is actually how we see the world. It's like our map of how we react emotionally to the world. So like my top value is probably health and fitness at the moment, because I've brought that up. I love going to the gym. I love my business. I love teaching. I love studying psychology and human behavior and all these things too. So what was I saying? I just lost my train of thought. I actually can't remember.
So you were talking about the 8 questions that you have.
Okay, yeah. So my list is basically my map of the world and how I see the world. So if I'm out of sync with this list, I will probably perceive more drawbacks to my life, which means I might get a bit frustrated. And if I perceive more positive to my list of values, I'll feel like I'm having a great day. But what I want to do now is actually be a little bit more balanced with that and start to identify that I have positives and negatives with both of those things. So I want to sort of keep myself in check, if that makes sense. But the cornerstone is understanding what your values are. So would you like me to share the questions?
Yeah, look, I'd love for you to share. Yeah, that'd be great.
So sometimes there's 9 questions, sometimes there's 7 questions. I'll just go through the first handful. So the first one is, how do you feel your personal space? So like, I've always got gym equipment. I'm always at the gym. I've always got students around me because I love teaching. I've always got my computer, which is what I use to do business. And I've always got my headphones in my ears listening to music. So that's how I feel my personal space. And it's generally stuff that you've always got around you. If something that's not important to you is hidden in the garage. Like if you say, yeah, I'm really into health and fitness, but your gym equipment is like hidden in the attic, never gets used, it's not really important to you. So how do you spend your time? What do you always make time for? So like, I know that I'll get up super early and be training at the gym, because I always make time to make sure that happens. I'm also making lots of time to make sure that I'm cooking the right things for myself at the moment. What do you always have energy for? So what are the things that you'll be sitting on the couch and someone says, hey, Natalie, what do you want to get off the couch? Go and do, and go and do something. And if it's like something to do with cake decorating or something like that, I don't know whether you like cake decorating, but if it was something to do with like, oh, it's a business thing about coaching or find your passion day, you'd be like off the couch, launching into that. What do you always have money for is always a big one. Where do you have your most order and organization? So yeah, my music studio is always like super clean, super tidy. Where are you most reliable, disciplined, and focused? So what can you stay focused on for hours and hours and hours? I work with a lot of juniors, so that's a really important question. I'm like, what can you do for hours and hours and hours? And they're like, video games. And I'm like, cool. And their parents are like, no. What do you love to talk about? What are the topics of conversation I'd love to bring you to life? And if you're falling asleep at a table at a dinner party and someone goes, human behavior, I'm like, oh, I can weigh in on this one. What's your internal dialogue? That's a sort of a next level question I've found over the years. What inspires you most? So when I'm listening to music, riding my bike and I'm dancing, I'm like, yeah, I love this. And what do you love to learn about, read and study most? So basically, once we answer all those questions, come up with maybe 3 answers for each of those. Then we'll basically go through that list and pick out the most common answer. And that generally will be what is the most important thing to you. And so basically your map of the world is this list. And so it's kind of like you're looking through this list at the world through this set of glasses. Which, when I sort of figured that out, I was like, cool. So I'm actually not my stuff. I'm actually like separate from that, which is kind of a really interesting process. I'm like, so I'm not really music, and I'm not like, because I basically through my 20s, I got myself into a whole bunch of trouble because the only thing that I wanted to do was music, and I left this trail of burning bodies and relationships that I made a complete mess of. And it's just because the only thing I wanted to do was music. So I'd basically be like using these people in order to get to do more of the thing that I wanted to do. And as I got a bit older, I realized that that's maybe not the nicest thing to do in the world. But I can now go, okay, cool. I understand that that's what I was doing. And now I can see that there's maybe a better strategy to get those same results. But that was a really, really enlightening part of understanding who I am as a person. And it's such an awesome tool, because now I can actually have really meaningful relationships with people, because I can just ask these same questions about my friends and my parents and my brother and my students, especially, because then I can say, hey, what's going on? And if they're not doing their practice, I'm like looking at their list of values, which is on the front of their folder. And it's basically sport, video games, family, whatever. And they get to guitar is like not even on the list. And I'm like, well, this is why they're not practicing, because they have attention and focus for things that are actually just really important to them. So it's a super powerful tool. And I've got one sort of really quick story that I would like to share about values, but also just in relation to having a relationship with someone else. So I got given a piano, which is something that I always really wanted. And I was like, oh, wow, this is the best. And so I rang my partner. I'm like, hey, guess what? We're getting a piano. And she's like, no. And I was like, oh. So I probably spent 5 minutes arguing with her, saying, "Yep, yeah, no, I'm getting the piano, da 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 da." And she's like, "No, no, 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 no." So I stopped. I don't know whether I hang up, but I came back later on and I actually did a bit of work. I'm like, what are her values? It's relationship. I'm sorry, not relationship. It's work, socializing, and family. That's the top priorities. So I was like, okay, cool. So then I thought, okay, so how is me getting a piano going to help her fulfill those 3 or 4 things? And I was like, okay, cool. So it's going to go in the spare room. So then I called her back and I go, well, the piano's going to go in the spare room. The spare room's the laundry room and the junk room. And so basically when it goes in there, it's going to get tidied up. And because I want to be in there and playing it, I'm going to make sure that room's really neat and tidy. So when your friends and family and your work colleagues come around, you can actually show them the whole house and not just have this room that's cut off. And so I sold it to her in relation to what she wanted, not what I wanted. And eventually she said, yep. Oh, yeah. Reluctantly, she's like, okay, well, that sounds fair enough. And so that was a really, really big eye-opener for me, because I got to realize that it's not about me. It's about me helping someone else, but I get to do what she wants to do at the same time. So that was a really, really powerful tool to understand my values and understand my partner's values. And I use that all the time with clients and business relationships and all these kind of things too. So when we have a conversation about values, business and coaching and helping people, we're aligning. And I already know that that's something really important to us. So, and seeing your health and fitness videos and you're running around, I'm like, hey, I like doing that too.
Yeah. I love that. And I did a post today actually around, who's your support network? Who's your greatest support? And that's something that I'm really big on is, bringing couples together or close family members together and sharing about your passions and sharing what's important to you, because without the support, you're going to hit those stumbling blocks as you showed, you're going to be knocked down and say, no, I'm not doing that. That's not happening. But when you both understand each other and your values and what you both want, it's a really powerful thing to help each other. And, then you get enjoyment. Like I'm assuming your partner gets enjoyment seeing you enjoying this piano and having this piano, and vice versa for the things that she has as well.
Well, after that, I actually, because I was getting to just finish that story off, never actually took the piano home. Because I couldn't get it upstairs at my studio. I wasn't sure whether I was going to get it up, so I had this like, oh no, I'll just take it home. But it's the principle of it is the process. But
absolutely.
But we that's why we're attracted to our partners, is because we see them. Before we're together, they're always doing their highest values. Before we met or when we started dating, she was always spending time like in fashion and looking great, and she always wanted to go to restaurants, and I was like, oh wow, this is really cool. And she was like talking about her family and how much she loves that and what she's doing at work, and I was like, wow, this person's really exciting. And same goes with me. I was like, oh well, I'm working on this song, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm doing this. And so it's just a process of making sure that those things are dovetailed across each other, so that we can see and appreciate where the other person's coming from. So
yeah, absolutely. And I love that you do those questions with your clients. So tell me, with your clients who are kids, how do they embrace these questions? What are their thoughts when they're doing these questions?
As a kid, I think I just never felt like I fit in anywhere. And so when my students come in, I'm like, hey, my thing is like, hey, what's up, rock star? And then if it's like their favorite thing is I've got this one kid who loves fishing. And I'm like, all right, I mean, fishing star, or, marine biologist star or something like that. But I flipped the rock star thing into what my thing is into their thing. And it's just like they have this little smile on their face. It's like, hey, Brett gets me. And he understands who it is, because it's like our self-worth is wrapped up in that list of values. And we're getting really challenged in that area. Then we don't feel like we're being appreciated. So it's not that the person challenging us in our highest values doesn't love us. It's just that they don't see how that's actually helping us grow as a person. So for me as an educator, and just never having that as a student when I was younger, I was like, whoa, it's sort of changed my world. Because once I got to music school and all my teachers were musicians, it's like, I get it. And then I kind of felt like they didn't get me yet still. And I was like, okay, what's going on here? There's something missing. So that it really inspired my study to really just want to know how people learn best. And so, I think you'd have to ask them, I guess. But
Yeah.
I think it's pretty cool because I get to have really cool conversations with about something that I know is really important to them. And then when they're not excited about it anymore, I'm like, okay, something's changed. And then we have a conversation about what's changed and what's shifted and what's different now. And then, we can really connect about something that's really important. So.
Yeah, that's amazing. I love it. And, my real passion for values and this work come from when I was in a corporate role and involved in a project in helping them find the business find new values and purpose and vision. And I thought, hang on, people here individually don't know what they value or what their purpose is and what vision they have for themselves. And as I've gone to research it more and understand it, I just love what it represents, and I've definitely learned through the work that I do and through Find Your Passion Day, where the conversation is I don't have a passion, I wish I did, that it's the values is that missing link, and particularly as parents we become so consumed in family life and making sure our kids and partners are well looked after that we lose sight of ourselves and what we enjoy.
Yeah. And I guess then on the flip side of that too is that a lot of people will actually acknowledge that once they figure out what their values are, that maybe their highest value is family. They're already doing what it is that they love. And they're like, I wish I had this passion like someone else has a passion, but really I just want to, do great things for my kids and cook them, make sure they're fed and healthy. And so that's a really cool thing too. I actually had a parent approach me about getting music lessons, and I actually sent her my questionnaire and I said, okay, I want you to do this questionnaire and I want you to tell me where music is on that list. And she just sent me an email back a couple of weeks ago saying, look, Brett, I just wanted to say thanks for sending me that questionnaire, because now I realize that learning music is a bit of a wish, and I'm already doing what it is that I love. And I was like, oh, hallelujah, I just saved that person, $1,000 on music lessons. And so that was a really rewarding process, as a teacher, just to help someone acknowledge what it is that's important to them, so that they're not trying to run off trying to do these fantasies and think that something's going to be easy, and it's not. So that's really cool too.
Yeah, that's it. And that's so good. And I guess that's part of Find Your Passion Day too, is that it's, we all think about, oh, what's my passion? And I wish I had a passion. But until you actually take that action to deep dive into what's important to you and look at potentially what you might be interested in, but then, as that situation, realize actually, no, what I'm doing is what I'm passionate about, and I don't need to go and find something else to feel great. Maybe it's changing some things in what you're already doing and nurturing yourself a bit more in what you're already doing, as opposed to bringing something else in. So that's very much the basis of the day as well. It's a great message. Yeah. So, thank you so much for sharing your insights and, the amazing work that you're doing with your students and the community as well. It's really invaluable. Yeah. Thanks for having me on, and best of luck for everyone finding their passions tomorrow. Oh, not tomorrow. Saturday, Friday, tomorrow. Oh, it is tomorrow. Okay. Yeah, it is tomorrow. I was right the first time. You were. I was like, what's today? It's the 16th, isn't it, tomorrow? Yeah, 16th. Yeah, don't worry. The days are going by so quick. I'm losing track of myself. So, yeah. Yeah. All good. Well, thank you again so much, Brett. Thank you. Okay, bye. Bye-bye.